go ahead and kick it off. We'll go ahead and do the first little bit of my bracket here. And I will have this on Instagram. I'll have a full bracket up on Instagram. And the polls that I'm doing on Instagram will be how the official bracket will run. So what we say is just going to be what we think and our conversation to add to it. And then I'm also going to do polls in the comments of the videos as well. And so we'll see what what all you guys out there in the Cup Chasers family have to say on the subject. So first things first up, number 1 seed Xavi Hernandez, who was 4th, I think, overall, and number 16 seed Ruud van Nistelrooy. Now, these 1 versus 16s usually is gonna be tough, but Xavi's CV. Do I even need to flash that up on the screen? Absolute serial winner. I mean, ridiculous amounts of trophies, stalwart in the midfield, huge part of Spain's dynasty. Some people would argue he's one of the greatest there in the midfield ever. And then we're up against Manchester United legend, Dutch legend, Ruud van Nistelrooy. For those United fans that were watching late 90s, early 2000s, I'm sure lots and lots of fond memories. I remember some of those Arsenal United games when he was wearing that 0-2 kit for United. Thrashing us. It's actually funny. Ruud van Nistelrooy missed a penalty kick in the Invincible season that would have beat us.
Wow.
Yeah, one of my fondest memories. Van Nistelrooy, to be honest with you.
There you go. I love it.
Yeah. That makes it easier for the choice, huh?
Well, I mean, for me, there was never going to be a,
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Yeah.
Patrick,
2 World Cups, 3 Champions League medals, multiple leagues. The bar is the Champions League. Well, I got that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say Iniesta or Xavi?
It's Xavi. It's Xavi versus Nistelrooy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much an interchangeable career with Iniesta and Xavi, but anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he's a number 1 seed as well.
Yeah.
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 As you should be.
Yeah. I think this one. Yeah, I mean, as much as you want to, I actually liked Nistelrooy. I actually thought that he was a very strong player. But
during an era of big defense too, like he scored those goals where the defense wasn't this defense. Like Vidic can't play.
Yeah,
those boys can't. Yeah, Tony. Those boys can't play. Ferdinand, those boys can't play now. Like that was worse than them. Like that was back when the league was.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's kind of a unanimous one there without even.
Oh, yeah. But by the way, I'm looking through this list and I want to take a pitchfork and a torch and go to 442 with some of these.
But it's going to make this bracket really interesting. Maybe not the 1 versus 16, but segues are weird. Number 8, Rio Ferdinand versus number 9, Kylian Mbappe.
Oh.
Yeah. How Mbappe got such a low ranking is beyond me.
Because he's so young.
Yeah.
But if
are we using our current knowledge of Mbappe?
I mean, that's all we can use, right? Is what he's done so far.
Well, because I'm looking through the list, and some of this stuff is kind of a little out of date. So some of the stuff, like the honors, are missing. But
442 didn't, they didn't put a huge amount of effort into it. If you go back and you could look at the article itself, but we'll use what we know.
Right.
Of the player.
Well, this one is I'm gonna chime in on this one because
Mbappe is 75.
Huh?
No,
I'm looking at it
it's a
right now, and
typo.
it says Kylian Mbappe 75.
I noticed it. I noticed that. It's a typo because he's 75 in the all-time list.
No, this is on the best of the 21st century. It goes.
Right. It's a typo.
Pirlo,
It's a typo.
so they've got him as 33 then. Okay.
Yes. Yep. I noticed that as well.
I'm taking Mbappe because when I think Mbappe, I think Mbappe. But when I think
a hat trick in the World Cup final. Yeah.
Well, but when I think Ferdinand, I think Vidic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like I can't think of him without Vidic.
Fair enough.
I also think that.
I think.
Are you saying the pairing is what made both of them?
Yes, but I think Vidic was more. I mean, Ferdinand was important, but I think Vidic was like. And Mbappe is Mbappe. Like Mbappe, literally, we watched him carry France.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I mean, we watched the guy carry France to 2 World Cup finals and win one.
Had he not just, if my boy would have laid off the ball, Mbappe would have had a 4-banger in the final.
He would have.
I'll never forgive him for that. If you look at the replay, all he has to do is be unselfish with it and play it.
I mean,
the Messi talk would be gone.
Oh,
right.
it'd be gone. Anyway,
I mean, the thing is,
as we're talking.
Well, think about, okay, so Rio, you attached to United, right? But then you look at his England career, which was good. Don't get me wrong, but England has underachieved.
Yeah, I mean, that's their middle name.
That's their middle name, exactly. So you look at France. Mbappe's won at Monaco. He's won at PSG. He ended up winning a World Cup. He ended up taking them to a second World Cup final. Had a hat trick in a World Cup final. I mean, this is easy. This is easy.
As far as a one-off.
But here's my thing for club though. I'm gonna fault Mbappe and Neymar and Messi and that rest of the PSG squad. I'm gonna flame them every time because they
this year was terrible.
Do not compete in the biggest stage of club. They cannot compete in champs, and every time
because they don't pay for defenders, and their midfield was aging.
Quinoa is amazing.
But in addition to that, you have to add that they never have to get up for their league. They're never tested. So if you're never battle tested, it doesn't matter.
That's
you know why City was able to go to the Champions League final and make it? Because Arsenal made them freaking play all year.
Yeah.
Inter was chased by Milan and Napoli, Napoli.
They were chasing Napoli.
Yeah. So. Absolutely. So, my vote's for Mbappe as well.
It's Mbappe.
Yeah, Mbappe.
Absolutely. Well, next up is a 5-12 matchup. I don't know how familiar you are with the bracket, but I took it straight from the way the NCAA does it. Philipp Lahm coming in at a number 5.
Ooh.
And Toni Kroos coming in at a number 12.
Ooh.
That's a tough one. That is a tough one.
I mean, Lahm was
monster for Germany.
He was.
And Bayern.
And for Bayern.
He was the golden age of both.
But Kroos was too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Young Kroos. Kroos could run a little.
He got 3 Champions Leagues in a row.
But here's the thing. Think about positionally. Guys that play like Lahm are very few and far between.
Well, these days.
Especially these days, yeah. You know, Toni Kroos is great. I love Toni Kroos. I've always wanted him to play for Chelsea. You have no idea how badly I've wanted him to play for Chelsea.
I thought
you know, and he has a level to him that others do not.
He's a champion.
And he's a champion.
He hasn't been
but Philipp Lahm was special.
Lahm lifted. You want to talk about champions? He lifted the World Cup trophy itself, wearing that armband for Germany.
Wow. It's hard because when I think left back,
didn't he? Wait a minute. I may have gotten that mixed up.
What was that? 2014?
Was he on the 14 team? I thought he was.
Hold on.
Now I'm confused.
That might have been when he because
No,
he
I'm
retired after
confused
they won.
myself.
He was the captain of 2014.
Yeah, and then he retired right after they won all of that.
Yep. There you go. Mm-hmm.
Bro, that's so hard because like if I'm fielding midfielders and it's Toni Kroos, Philip Lahm, oh my, because Lahm can step into that midfield.
Yeah, he was
You
so
think Pep
versatile.
could turn Lahm into an inverted fullback these days?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In his prime.
Yeah. Kroos is just so slow.
But Kroos didn't need to be fast.
He doesn't because he's a magician. He's magical.
Yeah, you just know where to be.
He knows where to be and he knows how to. He has a touch. He has a touch from. It's like ZZ. Like they just hit the ball. They know exactly how far away it's gonna roll. What kind of.
And wasn't the only reason that Kroos wasn't on the same 14 team was an injury?
He was.
He just according to this. The final because of an injury.
I think he couldn't play because of an injury, but yeah, he was on the same team.
Yeah.
Actually, interesting you mentioned that. According to this is FIFA.com, but according to FIFA.com, that 2014 team, Lahm was a midfielder.
See.
FIFA says some odd things sometimes though, so
but didn't they play?
And then when Germany played 5 back, they played 5 center backs in their back line or 4.
Yeah, I wanted to say that. Yeah,
they didn't. They only brought 1 wing.
So it was almost a 3-5-2.
Yeah,
they played 4 center backs
because they had Hummels, they had Boateng, they had
Yeah.
Who else? Was it Crom? No, it wasn't Cromer. Hold on.
Gotta remember.
Grosskreutz. I know they played Hevedes. They had Matthias Ginter.
Yeah.
So, and when was Pep at Bayern?
I think that was
14.
I think he was there. No, that was at the end. I think Lahm was finishing when he got there.
He was like Pep was like 11.
I think he played him in the midfield at Bayern too.
Yeah.
It's Lahm for me, man. It is. It's Lahm.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think I might have to say Philip Lahm as well.
Just because Kroos is on a, I mean, I hate to fault him for this because the best go play with the best. I get it, but Kroos is such like when you play beside Luka Modric, I think it just. I don't know.
I agree. That's what's doing it for me too.
That's what's doing it for me. It's just everyone he got to play with. If I'm hitting a ball to Ronaldo, even if I hit it slightly wrong, he's so good it's gonna make me look like I put it on a platter. Like, I hate to fault him for it. I really do. I hate to fault it for him.
It's the logic for Rio Ferdinand. I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same logic.
I like it. Yeah, it's long.
And to be a left back, that's a super challenging position in itself.
That's what Patrick was saying right when he started. He was like, "There's not a whole many in that position that come along and have that caliber to even be in this conversation at that position. You have to be prolific to be in a greatest defensive left back."
Not to mention, Lahm had goals too.
Yeah, he did.
That goal in 06, the first goal of the 06 World Cup, the very first goal.
He's not a big guy.
World Cup when Germany beat Costa Rica, where he cut in from the left, beat the guy on top of the box, and ripped it far post. I still remember that goal. So yeah, Philip Lahm.
He had 332 appearances for Bayern Munich. He was at Bayern till 2007.
He was there
17,
for years. Yeah.
I actually just heard a statistic like that, and he played like some 200 games without ever drawing a foul.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I saw that. It's
something stupid like that. Yeah.
Some crazy record like that. Yeah.
As a defender, yeah.
Yeah. I think the next one's gonna be one of those ones where you kind of know what you want to say, but it might hurt a little bit. Coming in at number 4. Zlatan Ibrahimovic up against a 13 seed in Xabi Alonso.
And we're in the Champions League final.
Another tough one. Another Champions League final. I mean, for me, just because, I don't know, man, because I do love a nice center defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
You know, I guess this one's tougher than I expected. I mean, I feel like I know what the Instagram world's gonna say, but it's tough because Xabi Alonso's a serial winner, and again,
Instrumental.
he had Spain's dynasty around him, whether it was at Madrid or or Spain for Spain. But he was
played
also
in some of those great
Zlatan's been a
Liverpool teams.
proven mercenary everywhere.
And then he
goes.
played in the treble-winning
Inter, right?
No,
he left Inter.
Bayern.
Was he on that Bayern team? Yeah, you're right. He was.
Team.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Oh, Xavi.
Yeah, Xavi, he would.
I'm here.
But it's
so, I mean, it's Zlatan.
It's a talismanic goal scorer, like
you buy him, you know what you're getting, man.
The X factor.
But you said I got to win the Champions League final, and I know the one who wins it.
Yeah, true.
How many chances did Zlatan get, though?
Well, I mean, you can say that, but then you can also say teams, when they let him go, they won.
Got better.
Yeah.
Except for United, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, because and he was injured before he left there, so that was part of his thing.
Man.
I'm going with Alonso, honestly. Yeah. I really am.
Alonso.
I really am.
No.
Yeah.
Just because I know and because my team played like this, so it's a little bit like I know how that is a heartbeat. Like while he might be surrounded by good players, a good center defensive mid is a heartbeat for a team. And again, if I don't have my prime heartbeat center defensive mid, the glue that's going to hold it all together, it's one of those special positions that's near and dear to my heart. I just because it's tough. It's tough to cover that much ground, know where your guys are, know where your spacing is, and they're built different, man.
But you can build a team around Zlatan.
Yeah, you can.
You also can build a team around Conte.
I can build an entire
Is true.
Which is what he is. And you can build a team around Rodri. I'm just saying.
That's what I was getting at, Lewis, honestly, because I've seen how instrumental Conte was to bring it in, and we've always had one. We had backups for him. We've had amazing center defensive mids. That's what we built our team around. That's what we built our team around for years. And so yeah, man, it's Xabi Alonso for me. I'm sorry, he had an amazing career. Zlatan. He's an icon.
What if Zlatan was Spanish? Or what if Zlatan?
Yeah, I feel for him, man. But it's like, what if Ronaldo wasn't Portuguese? Like, if he was just born in Spain, this conversation about who the greatest is would be far from over.
Well, we were talking about Mbappe putting teams on his back, and he put a great team still on his back to get to where he was. I mean, Zlatan. Yeah, he played some very good teams, but he doesn't have that moment because he didn't get those like true opportunities to stand out.
He's the best mercenary that's ever been, man. I mean, that's what I'll give him.
That's true.
That's what I'll give him. He's the best mercenary that has played the game in the modern era.
I mean, but then if we're using Xavi,
no affiliation, he does not care. He'll score.
Sorry, if you give Zlatan the ball in a Champions League final, is he going to score?
Well, probably, but is he going to score this 3-3 miracle of Istanbul like Xabi Alonso scored?
Oh dear.
I mean, I'm just saying, man. You said Champions League final. I'm pulling the Champions League final.
Yeah, it's Xavi. I mean, it is. It's Alonso for me. All day.
Well, hey.
All day.
There you go.
Just because I hate to do it to Zlatan. I really do.
Yeah.
I would pick Xavi every day. But
Xavi every day, yeah. Every team needs a little Xavi in it.
Yeah.
And then you go live on your avocado farm.
All right, yeah, that does it. Xabi Alonso over Zlatan seems to be the consensus. And thanks for being here, everybody. Thanks for being on this new segment. We are definitely going to have plenty more coming for you here in the bracket challenge, the summer bracket challenge, I guess we'll call it. And if you're enjoying it, go ahead and smash up the likes. Subscribe to the channel, get that notification bell on so you know when we get these videos coming out for the bracket challenge. Like I say, it's going to be on Instagram where the full bracket will be. You can take a look at everything. And that's where the polls will be as well. So go ahead and check us out. All these links will be in the description below. Once again, thanks for being here. Hope you have a good night, and we'll see you next time.